You know, we're often taught in our spiritual studies the importance of loving others, right? Well, that is important, but it's also important to love ourselves, at least in the right ways. And one of the most important things I've learned to love myself is to give myself time to study and pray and feel close to God and really experience God's healing power at work in my life. But I've also learned that sometimes you have to make some sacrifices to have that time set aside where you can study and pray and grow close to God. Every day we wake up with a list of priorities, don't we? We all have a sense of this is what I want to do today, and we devote our time and energy to the number one priorities in our life, and then we tick our way on down the list. Well, sometimes we need to be sure that at the top of that list is set time aside to study and pray. That's a really important part of living a happy, successful life. I remember back in my 20s, after I graduated from college, I launched into my career, and I also got heavily involved with all kinds of other extracurricular activities after work. So I'd work long, hard days out on the farm, and then I'd zip off into town and do something in town with a club or an organ event. I played a lot of organ for different activities and festivities around town, and pretty soon all my time was filled up. You know, work all day and off to town at night. Every single night was filled up, and after a while I began to realize this was a bit mentally and physically exhausting. Just run all the time. Everything I was doing was worthwhile. You know, it had a meaning, a purpose. I wasn't being frivolous or wasteful with my time, but I was just busy. And so after many months of this, maybe even a couple of years, I sat back and I thought, is this really the way I want to be living my life? Or are there some other priorities I need to move to the top of my list? And including the priority of having some specific time just to sit down, be quiet, and pray and grow spiritually. And I decided that was a very important priority to me. And so I made a list of all the different things I was doing in my life, and I looked at the list and I said, where can I cut? And so I started cutting some clubs and different commitments that I was quick to jump into, and decided, no, I'm not going to jump into those anymore like that, and be more discreet and start to free up some evenings of my week that are available just to go study, pray, and be quiet with God. And I did. I went ahead and made those cuts, and it was one of the wisest moves I've ever made in my whole life. It was so rewarding and enriching to me to have that quiet time where I could just sit and be quiet, shut out the commotion of the world, find deeper peace of mind, and really feel close to God. And as it turned out over the decades, it really set me up to be doing what I'm doing today, which is a life all dedicated and focused on serving God and following through with what God wants me to do. I've just found it to be a very enriching, happy life to live. But anyway, you too, love yourself. Be sure you're setting time aside where you can do the most important activity of all, which is to be spiritually minded, to know your Creator, to feel close to God, and to experience the healing power that comes along with that. Be sure to set aside time to grow spiritually. Seek the things of spirit above all other things, and you will be greatly blessed.